Hello everyone, welcome back to Fables. This is Kim, and I'm back with another pick a card reading and also back with yet another amazing collaboration with the super awesome V from V Love and Crystals. She is an amazing decorator and she also has an amazing YouTube channel, and she's done so many more pick a card readings than my channel because I literally just have the two, including this one, that I'm doing in collaboration with her, so literally I have nothing else. So go check out her channel, she's super amazing. And we thought in the spirit of Samhain and Halloween we would do a love reading. So this is a love themed pick a card reading, but we would sort of tackle the spirit of Samhain, which is to, dive deep into your shadows, release things from the past and letting go in order to, begin a new chapter in your life. So for this pick a card reading, the question would be, what do you need to let go of in order to attract love in your life? So if you're looking for love, if you're looking for connection, or if you're already in a relationship or something, or you're looking at something that's not a romantic relationship, if you're looking to deepen into any connection or start a new connection, this reading would be good for you to look at what needs to be cleared out of, what do you need to air out, right, before you move into this new room or new house or whatever. So this would be a super awesome reading, and in the spirit of Halloween, I took out my 3 spooky decks. I was gonna do the zombie deck, but since this is a love reading, I thought I would take out the more gothic and romantic deck. So number 1, I got pile 1. So each pile is gonna have cards from one specific deck. So I figure each deck is kind of like a specific personality and has a unique worldview, so it will be really interesting to just have 3 different decks. So the first one is Tarot of the Vampyres, that's pile 1. I have a super cool key charm here. Second deck is from Tarot, the Carnival at the End of the World Tarot, and this is a perfect deck for exploring one's existential dread. It's a very interesting deck. Third pile is, of course, our popular, beloved, dark but humorous and affectionate deck, Deviant Moon Tarot. So we have 3 different piles, and if you know these decks, you can just pick the deck that you like, or maybe just a deck you would like to hear from. You can pick based on the keys here. You can pick based on the card backs to see which one you're most drawn to. You can also just pick whichever one is speaking to you the most, or you can just watch the whole video and just see if you resonate with all of them and can just take it all in, the more the merrier, right? And of course the pandas are here. I know they're not particularly spooky, and I put them there because I can. Bye, babe. Okay, so anyway, so pick your pile, just take a breath, take a moment to just concentrate, relax, focus, and then just choose the pile that you're most drawn to, and we will take a look at what you need to let go of in order to attract more love in your life. So when you're ready, you can pause the video, but when you're ready, just keep playing the video. Timestamps in the description box, so if you want to skip ahead. So first pile, we have the pile from Tarot of the Vampyres. I love this deck. It's gothic, it's dark, it's sexy, it's just sinister, and I love it. Vampires, right? And okay, let me just well, actually, I'll just keep them in here, and I'll just hold out the screen or something. First time doing 3 piles from 3 different decks. So here's the first pile, and we have the Priestess, so that is High Priestess. And then we have 6 of Grails, so that's 6 of Cups. The Cups are called Grails in this deck. 5 for Grails. So we got 2 consecutive cards, or reverse consecutive cards. And this was properly shuffled. After I drew this card, I shuffled, and then I picked this card. So it wasn't not properly shuffled or anything. Alright, so what I'm getting is what you need to let go of is the idea that you can attract love just by magic. And I don't mean magic as in you just sort of wish that it would just magically happen, but when I talk about magic, I mean woo-woo rituals, rituals that we do, things like, if you work with energy, or if you work with rituals or magic, you need to stop thinking that if you say just carry your rose quartz, if you just say these affirmations, and if you do this love spell or magic, then that is going to attract love into your life. And I'm not saying that it's not going to work or it's not working or that you don't have the ability to do so, but I think in order for you to vibrate at the right frequency, in order for you to be a vibrational match for the kind of love that you're trying to attract into your life, in order for your magic to be even more powerful, to be really in alignment, I think this is when these two cards come in. You need to look at some of the baggage that you're still carrying. And I think these two cards really speak to grieving the losses that you have experienced or may have experienced. You know, like every one of us has some kind of baggage. Even if you don't have baggage in your romantic relationships, I think the relationships that we have with friends or with family, with our siblings, all the things that we have experienced in the context of relationships with people, they all become a part of us. So I think in order for your magic to become more potent, you know, if you're doing manifestation work, if you're doing self-work, if you're doing ritual work or magical work, if you're doing spells, those things can only be powerful, or it can be even more powerful if you take the time to grieve the losses that you have experienced. And really take the time to accept the sadness that you may have felt. Maybe someone has betrayed you, maybe someone has abandoned you, really let you down. Like this, I believe she's a mermaid. Well, she actually looks like a snake, and it's sort of like floating into the, you know, into the next picture. So it's almost like you're trying to move forward, right? There's like this backward reversal thing going on. You're trying to move forward with all this weight that's still in your heart, and that's fucking up your magic. That's fucking up your vibe. If you're doing all these ritual work and manifestation work and you're wondering like, why am I still attracting stupid people into my life? And I think it's because like by resisting your past, by not wanting to acknowledge it, and by not properly processing them, you know, without doing all the necessary release work for the emotions you have experienced, without really grieving the losses that you have had and have experienced, you're vibrating, like you're sending out this vibration and signal of resistance. And if you're wondering why, like maybe the people you're attracting right now are like maybe people who are emotionally unavailable, people who have committal issues, or people who have like a lot of baggage and it's just not working. It could be because you are vibrating resistance, right? You're sending out a signal of resistance, and that's why you attract relationships that are defined by resistance, right? You want it to work, but there's always these issues, right? But I think if you really take the time to heal from your past, to really allow yourself to grieve, right? Grieving means like, you know, doesn't have to be like, oh, just somebody has died or whatever. Grieving really means that you accept your feelings of loss, right? You really allow yourself to feel the feelings that you haven't been allowing yourself to feel. You really allow yourself to feel the sadness of perhaps the previous relationship not working out, or really allowing yourself to feel your loneliness, really allowing yourself to feel how isolated you are. And I think only when you accept that, you could send out the right vibrations for all the magical and manifestation work that you're doing, so you can properly align with the powers of the Priestess and to be at this clear space in order to attract love. So for pile 1, what you need to let go of is the insistence that only manifestation work or affirmation work or ritual magical work, that this is the only way for you to attract love, or you need to kind of double down on the magic. In order to do that, you need to kind of double back and release the emotions that are stopping you from becoming, or stopping you from bringing that full manifesting power to the table, and to really just resolve that baggage. So that's something that you have to let go. So that is from Tarot of the Vampyres. Strongly recommend this deck. So that's pile 1, and I hope that resonated with you. If it did, leave a comment or just let me know what you picked. Alright, so that's pile 1. Moving on to pile 2. So this is from Carnival at the End of the World Tarot. And again, it's a very interesting and thought-provoking deck, let me just say. I'm just going to put the keys out there. So let's see what cards we have. We have the Lovers, Four of Swords, and Queen of Cups. So always good to see the lovers in a romantic or love reading, but the question we're asking today is, what do we need to let go of in order to attract love? Let go of love? What? Okay, so what I'm getting is, I think there's this idea that you have about if I only, the next person is going to be the right one. The next relationship is going to be the one that fixes everything. So what you need to let go of is to let go of this idea that your next relationship or the next person you encounter are going to fix all of your problems. And this could be something very subconscious, right? You could just be projecting ideals onto a person, or you could be projecting what you don't want to experience onto the next relationship. But the idea is like, you need to let go of the idea that there's going to be one relationship down the road or one person down the road that is going to complete you, that is going to fix all of your problems. And I think that's sometimes really hard for us to admit, because it's hard to catch, because we don't want to consciously admit that we're looking for someone to complete ourselves. Like I think there's this pressure for modern women, if you identify as a woman, to be very independent and to be very strong and to feel like we don't need anyone. But I think there's something subconscious going on there. I think like there's this idea that the next relationship is going to fix everything. The next relationship is going to be the right one, or you're looking for the right relationship. You're looking for something that's outside of yourself. So I think there's that. Like, you need to let go of the idea that you can only be complete if you encounter something that's outside of yourself. Something that's outside of you, a person or relationship, can be a catalyst for you to find your sense of completion within yourself. But it can't help you. It's not going to, you can't, it's not going to work if you expect something from the outside to complete you, because whatever that's outside is going to remain outside. And if you're incomplete on the inside, then that's something you have to work on. So that's something you need to let go. But yeah, that's my first impression when I see the Lover's card. And let's take a look at the Four of Swords and the Queen of Cups. So I think I just see this figure here, and they're lying on the ground, and then there's this sword here. It's almost like there's this sense of numbness, you know, there's this, I think with the pandemic and everything, how isolated we've been feeling as a collective, and also just in general, I think we're just like a lonely generation anyway. Like, there's a pandemic of loneliness on top of the pandemic of coronavirus, which makes the pandemic of loneliness even worse. So I think something you need to let go of is the idea that you are not going to be lonely if you find someone. That completion, that sense of completion, or that sense or connection, or not feeling alone is going to be accomplished by someone outside of yourself, because that's not how it works. So you need to let go of the idea that this is going to solve your problems. And Queen of Cups is really just holding out this teacup, right? Like, she's gonna spill the tea. She's just really letting you know that you are all that you need. And I know this is something we hear a lot, say in self-help circles and tarot readings, but you need to sort of find out how to accomplish that, right? You need to figure out how to feel into that, I guess. But yeah, I won't go too much into like how to let go, because you need to go to V's channel to find out. But since the cards are here, I just thought I would mention a little bit. But make sure you go to V's channel to check out how to let go of this thing that you need to let go, and just let the messages combine. But yeah, that's the main thing I'm getting with this pile, is that you really need to let go of the idea that something outside of you is going to solve your problems, is going to dissolve your loneliness, it's going to basically just, everything is going to be happily ever after. I think there's this sort of feeling of escapism there. I think you really need to, and you might not even be looking at a real relationship, because I know a lot of us that are on like social media and dating apps because we're really bored in the pandemic. So I think like that's I think that's sort of escapism, right? I don't know if I mentioned that word. Did I? just now? I forgot. But there's this sort of idea of escapism. So I think you need to let go of that escapism. You need to come to face with your own emotions and just let go of the idea that something outside or someone outside of you is going to complete you. So yeah, and really start looking within and looking at what really nourishes your soul and makes you feel connected. Okay. I kind of feel like the first pile was like a little longer, but I don't know. Time is a mystery. Okay, so moving on to the third pile, and this pile is from the deck Deviant Moon. Amazing deck. I know some of you may find Deviant Moon scary, but it does look scary from the beginning. That was certainly my experience with it, and for the longest time I could not stomach this deck until one day it called out to me and I had to buy it. But this is pile 3, and it's from Deviant Moon Tarot if you want to look into it. We have the Emperor, we have the Magician, and we have the King of Cups. And right away, the first thing I notice is that we have 3 masculine figures and archetypes from the tarot, and they're all looking towards this side, which I find very interesting. And I get this feeling of anger and resentment. As soon as I look at the Emperor, I just see I just really hear, and I just really get a vibe of anger. And in October, in the season of Samhain and Halloween, as you search for love and love outside or within, you really need to take a look at your anger and really let go of that anger and resentment. Because I get a feeling, looking at these figures, I just get a feeling that it's like you're stirring blood and you're always looking for blood. You're always on the defensive, right? You're holding the scepter, you're holding the sword, and you're holding another scepter. And it's almost like you're preparing yourself for an upcoming threat. And you might be completely justified in having this sort of reaction or having this sort of defense mechanism, because maybe you don't want drama, but drama always finds you. You don't want shit to happen in your life, but shit always finds you, and it's very frustrating. And like, it gives you a lot of anger and resentment. It's like, why the fuck does this always happen? Why me? You know? So something you need to let go of and work on just letting it go is just your anger and your resentment and your powerlessness. Because I think ultimately when we feel anger or resentment about something for a long period of time, it's because we feel powerless, or something that happened to us in the past that really made us feel disempowered and powerless, that we didn't have a choice. For example, when someone crossed our boundaries, you know, like a lot of times we see quotes about like, oh, people disrespect our boundaries because we allow them to. And I think this could be true if you are aware of your problem and you're consistently letting someone disrespect you. So that could be an issue. But a lot of times when people cross us, when people disrespect our boundaries, it's often something we didn't expect. It's kind of like someone could just do a drive-by and drop shit on your lawn. And you would see that coming, but you wouldn't really expect it. And it's like you can only react after it is done, after the boundary has been crossed. So it's kind of like, well, what are you supposed to do then? So sometimes it's really unexpected, and sometimes it's not really your fault that happened. But I think what's important is really letting go of that sense of powerlessness and that anger and resentment. Because Emperor has to do with power, Magician has to do with power, and King of Cups, I think this is a good turning point though. We have like 2 very laser focused sort of, you're expecting a certain outcome to happen. I think maybe because of the shit that's happened to you, you're just expecting people to dump shit at you all the freaking time. And I think that's very reasonable given what happened to you probably. But that's also something you need to work on, right? You really need to let that go. And you're not really letting go you're not like letting the other person off the hook, right? You're letting go so you could really just allow yourself to feel the emotions and allow yourself to experience some other more fulfilling emotions other than anger and resentment, because nobody wants to be angry and resentment all the time, right? It's kind of like you're not doing it to let the other person off the hook. You're doing it so you have a space in your heart to feel other things like love and joy and connection and genuine appreciation of someone or someone appreciating you, right? You need to make room for that to happen. You need to hold space for that to happen. And in order to do that, you need to let go of your anger and your resentment. So that's what I'm getting from the cards. Yeah. And I also get a feeling that because they're all looking towards that side, there's a side of you that you don't usually show. So maybe you need to let go of the idea that there's only one side of you that you can show, and you can't show your vulnerable side or something like that. Because if you do, then someone's gonna take a dump on your lawn or something like that. But as we all know, to really connect with someone in a relationship, or really to connect with ourselves even in a relationship, we need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. So that's something to think about. All right, so that has been Pick a Pile in my collaboration with V. So if you want to find out how you can let go of the things that you need to let go, I know I kind of tapped into that a little bit, but if you want to find out more about it, get more insight, and let the messages combine and basically get another reading, make sure you go to V's channel, check out part 2. Actually, I guess I'm part 1. Yeah, I'm part 1. She's part 2. Make sure you go to V's channel and check out her reading, and you can do another pick a card. It's like a double goodness, like a double coffee. I don't know. Like, I drink tea. Coffee is a little too strong for me. It gives me diarrhea. Not that you needed to know that, but coffee is a little too strong for me. That's why I have this tea right here. It's so good. It's rose blossom black milk tea. Like, oh my god, it's heaven. Strongly recommend. All right, so that is all. I hope these readings resonated with you, and I really hope to do more pick a card readings because they are really fun to do. And I kind of want to do like a fun Halloween one, maybe at the 3rd or 4th week of October. I always like to do a zombie apocalypse reading for Halloween, just for myself, but this year I might do one where it's like pick a card or pick a pile. Find out what happens if you wake up in a zombie apocalypse or something like that. So it's just something fun and Halloween-y. Alright, so thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below. Let me know which pile you picked, if you resonated with anything, or if it makes sense to you. Tell me what's up. And until next time, be the hero of your own story. That's my old tagline. My new one is be cute, stay cute and fierce. But, you know, just have it. Alright, thanks for watching. This has been Kim from Fables, and I will see you next time.